everybody, welcome to New Age Thought with me, Luke Schneider. It's August 16th, 2021. The world is in a pretty interesting state right now. I cannot say I have ever really seen anything like this. We are on the precipice of amazing new times. The breaking news on New Age Thought and media outlets around the world is that Afghanistan has just fallen. The Taliban have seized control of the presidential palace, and the irony is they weren't holding AKs, they were holding M4s, which if you don't know is an American rifle. So, it's really just amazing. All the work that the prior administrations have done and all the work that soldiers and SEALs and the Navy, the Air Force, training up the local forces, bartering with, village elders, all this tedious work to establish some sort of democratic government within the country was all for naught. And I think we knew that, which is the sad thing. And I think everybody involved kind of knew that. And that Afghanistan was turning into a clusterfuck. But one thing that I know we could have done is not left this way. We essentially, imagine a chain-linked fence, all right? And there's a bunch of ravenous dogs and wolves and bears and lions that are just ready to, that you put a nice juicy prime rib and it's right on your chest. And you're sitting right in the middle of this fence and all these animals are just trying to get to you. And I'm not calling the Taliban animals, even though they're pretty dang close in a lot of instances. They've done some fucked up things. We essentially just cut a hole in that fence. The Afghan people who helped us can be represented by that prime rib. And we grabbed a rope on a Chinook and took off and said, bye, thanks for all your help. We're out of here. There is no way that our government did not know that this would happen within a very short amount of time. I believe in some of the protocols or military planning that went on, saying, okay, if we were to leave Afghanistan abruptly, like how long would it take, or what would it look like, if the U.S. was completely gone? Could the Afghan security forces actually rebel the Taliban and other forces that would try to retake control of the country? I believe the estimates were somewhere around maybe, 2 weeks, a week, maybe 3 days. I don't know. But we're talking in terms of hours here, okay? The Taliban retook a country that the United States was occupying within hours. Hours. There is no excuse for that from the Pentagon. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care how you feel about Biden. I don't care how you feel about Trump. So far, Biden hasn't spoke yet, and it's 5:30 p.m. today, Monday, and this happened. Biden has actually given his speech on this topic. At the time this video was posted, he had not. So that's a correction. When you see this video, that may change. But so far, he hasn't said anything. But forget, the politics between Trump and Biden and what administration would do what. I think this was bigger than that. I don't think Biden had any say in what went on in Afghanistan. I think people are making decisions in our government who we may or may not have voted for, whether they're in the Pentagon, whether they're elsewhere, and they are moving pieces on a chessboard to make the world stage look the way that they want to make it look. Now, this could have been done simply to make America look bad, because let me tell you, it really makes America look bad when we do something like this. Libya was similar, but even Libya wasn't this bad, okay? The images that I'm going to show you, okay, are absolute insanity. I mean, the local Afghan people are clinging to an AC-130, literally like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, okay? Trying to just, that's the desperation. I mean, imagine hanging on to a plane really think it, like, really take a moment to think about what it would be like. You are in such a desperate situation that you are actually willing to grab hold of the outside of a military aircraft taking off of a runway, knowing that maybe, you're probably going to fall off. Maybe there's some chance they'll let you inside the plane, but they are that desperate because they know that the Taliban is coming for them. And we've abandoned these people. We have abandoned these people, the Afghanis, the people on the ground who have helped us for so many years secure the country. I mean, any Afghani who was part of the Afghan security force or who was giving us intel on the Taliban, if they were not a double agent working for the Taliban, I guarantee you they are moments or days away from being beheaded or publicly executed. And it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's very, very, very sickening and sad that this is the way it's happening. A lot of people are going to focus only on how this looks for America on the world stage. And let me tell you, like I said, it does not look very good. When we go and we make a promise, okay? Back when 9/11 happened, for those who are too young, or there's a lot of people who weren't even born when 9/11 occurred, who may be watching this video. We made a promise that anybody who was attacking America, we would pursue to the ends of the earth. And we didn't keep that promise because we left. We left like this. We may have kept it for a little while, but to leave in this fashion, that shows weakness. That shows that if we make a promise that we're going to go and come after you if you play a role in our destruction, but then we leave after 20 years of trying to establish a government and have Afghanistan be a more democratic society, or just have it be a country that won't fall back into chaos. Within hours, it fell back into chaos. 20 years, hours. 20 years, hours. Do you see why this is so crazy? It's not a blunder. Okay? No matter what the news or people are going to say, oh, well, we had a plan. The Pentagon's probably going to come out, or the Biden administration may come out and say, well, we had a plan and, it just didn't work the way we thought it was going to work. We didn't foresee these events happening. Look, the Pentagon knew exactly what was going to happen. And that makes me then think, well, then why did they do it this way? And if you ask yourself, well, why did they do it this way? The only answer I can come up with is to antagonize Americans, make America look weak on the world stage, and essentially make us look very incompetent, is what it does. We already knew, like I said, Afghanistan was a shit show. No, that wasn't news to anybody. And my heart goes out to the troops and people who have served in that country and the surrounding region. They worked their butts off to make sure that it could be a better place. Okay, that the Taliban wouldn't come into a village and just fucking rape women, use a drill on some kid's knee, or do whatever the fuck. We did good things there. We fought evil there. And now, 6 months into a new administration, we leave all of a sudden, and it's tragic. So I think I'm going to leave it there until we start to see some more developments, but boy, are we living in interesting times. A lot of people are talking about, oh, America, it's the end of America, and I think that's really irresponsible to say. This instance of Afghanistan certainly does not help America in any way. Doesn't help Afghanistan in any way, but it makes us look weak at a time when we're already divided and suffering. And personally, I think it's all part of some larger plan. What that is, I don't know. And will it create a society or something that is better? after all we go through all this? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that. But, I'm gonna sit and watch and do my duty to get this information to you guys and to give you my opinion on this information, so then you can then make an opinion about it yourself. Whether you agree or disagree with the things that I've said, it's very important that we as American citizens grapple with what just happened. And I think we need to start really looking at the larger picture here and saying, okay, can we look past all of the political divides that are happening in the country and come together on some common issues? And Democrat or Republican, we can both admit that this was not a good thing that occurred. This should, if there's any light at the end of the tunnel, or if there's any good thing you can pluck from this, and boy, there's not a lot, it's that we may as Americans be able to agree that at least that it was fucked, that it was a shit show, that we left in a bad way. And if we can't even do that, then I'm not sure what is going on in this country anymore. But we'll have to wait and see. And I think everybody can agree that this was overall a very sad day for America. And going forward, we can only wait for our president and other officials to give us some explanation to why it happened the way that it happened. Until then, I don't want to say, until then, just pay attention, everybody. Pay attention to what's happening in the world, okay? It's really easy to slip into just, oh man, this is all so weird, and I don't know, let me just sit inside and isolate and not pay attention, but focus on what's happening. Be aware, because I guarantee you this is a very pivotal event that is interconnected into a larger picture somehow. So I'm going to leave the video there. I wish it was a more interesting or happy subject to talk about. The UAP issue is a little more exciting. There we can think about all of the amazing, bright prospects that would bring if we were to explore that issue more. And I'm going to make more videos about that. But unfortunately, when it comes to Afghanistan, it's simply a very sad day that this happened the way it happened. And there's no two ways around that. So, Luke Schneider coming to you from New Age Thought. And have a good day, guys. Stay strong.